Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast, where we take a look inside the lives of the accomplished and successful businessmen and women. We'll get up close and personal with the founders of booming startups. So lean in and prepare to carry away something to skyrocket your own business. Please subscribe to our show and do leave us a review. It means a lot to us. Now, here's your host, Rajiv.
Hey listeners, welcome to the Entrepreneur Talk Show. I'm your host Rajiv Unikrishnan, and this is the show where we talk about entrepreneurship and speak to great founders, entrepreneurs, and investors. Today we have with us Amit Munjal, the founder and CEO of Dr. Insta. Welcome, Amit.
Thank you, Rajiv. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Excellent. So, just a brief intro. Dr. Insta is a made in India telemedicine app providing best in class medical help instantly, anytime, anywhere, at one's own comfort and ease. A bit about Amit. He's an MBA from Indiana and has a advanced management certification from the Harvard Business School. Currently lives in Gurgaon and also some spends time in LA. He has served as a mentor and business coach to various dot coms as well as to Capital Innovators, a startup accelerator program in the US. And he's a charter member of TIE Delhi and the LA chapter of CFA Institute. Again, Amit, welcome to the show. Do fill in the gaps, if any, in the intro.
No, I think you did a great job of introducing me, Rajiv. Uh, I think we can hit the ground running from here
All right,
onwards.
excellent. So, before I start, of course, anything about businesses, what are your passions outside of business, Amit?
Rajiv, my passions outside of business are traveling. I like to travel to new countries, new places, explore cultures, explore different museums, read about world history and different businesses and what they are doing right and what they are doing wrong. I also like to try out new restaurants and then work out. So those four things would be my passions outside work.
Excellent. And how much time do you spend equally between Delhi and LA?
I am maintaining my house in Los Angeles, so I end up spending a couple of months in LA every year. And since Dr. Insta is developing country focused, our ground zero is Gurgaon, India. So I end up spending most of my yearly time here in Gurgaon,
Okay.
with the exception of those couple of months when I'm in LA.
Got it. So, of course, coming now to Dr. Insta, so what inspired the idea for Dr. Insta, Ahmed?
So it's an interesting story, Rajiv. In 2012, I was on a vacation on a remote island of Hawaii called Kauai.
Okay.
And I ended up having a medical situation where I sprained my right ankle. And it's a remote island, so finding a doctor right away became a challenge. And a friend of mine suggested a similar app for me to do a consultation. Initially, I was skeptical, but I had no other option, and beggars can't be choosers. So I ended up doing the consultation online.
Okay.
Uh, and through that video consultation, doctor made me move my foot in different directions, asked me about the magnitude of pain on a scale of 1 to 10, and post his viewing the situation, he came to a prognosis that it is definitely not a fracture, seems like a sprain. Suggested me ibuprofen 800, which is known as Brufen in India,
Yeah, yeah.
and a pain alleviating spray. And I followed that treatment plan to the T. And in 3 hours, I was back on my feet, continuing with my vacation. So that seeded the idea. And I always wanted to do something in India. And when I was migrating to India, that idea stayed in the back of my mind. So I, although evaluated 30 odd ideas to work on,
Hmm.
this seemed to stand out because there was nothing else in this space. And then this is the idea where you are hitting the triple bottom line. That's a dream for any ethical entrepreneur to accomplish. By
Correct.
triple bottom line, I mean, there is nothing better than the gift of good health that you can give to yourself as well as to your near and dear ones. And virtual healthcare is, at the end of the day, propagating good health,
Absolutely.
providing you instant, anytime, anywhere solution to your medical problems. The second component of the bottom line was good for environment. People don't have to burn fuel, waste time going from point A to point B to get consultations. And then third is if you take care of the planet and people, then automatically shareholders' interests are well taken care of. So
Correct.
because the convergence of these three and the fact that it was a white space in India, which was yet to be addressed, I took up this challenge and started walking the journey.
Excellent. And what would the vision be for the company?
So, Rajiv, the vision is very clear. We want to democratize and strengthen the healthcare system in developing countries. In developing countries like India, uh, there are a couple of major challenges. Challenge number one is one of the worst doctor to patient ratios in the country. And then looking at the country, you have two diverse challenges. One, in cities, the problem is of availability of time amongst the patients.
Yep.
So if you are a patient, you lead a very busy lifestyle most of the time. Most of the couples are working now. They also have dependents in the form of very young children, and then dependents in the form of very old parents that they also need to worry about. So time becomes a major constraint, and to find shortcuts, many a times all of us are guilty of going to a pharmacy store and asking the guy there, "Bhaiya kya lu?" And we know that deep down there, this bhaiya that we are addressing doesn't even have proper education or qualifications, and is the farthest thing from being a pharmacist. But yet, we all sign up to become the guinea pig of the bhaiya.
That's true.
So we want to, get rid of that self-medication phenomenon that is happening in India. Although India has laws around not dispensing medicines without prescription, but the ground reality is diagonally opposite to that. You can walk into a pharmacy store and get whatever you want without any prescription, unfortunately. But as people are becoming more and more aware, and we understand that time is a scarce commodity for them, we offer them virtual healthcare solution where they don't have to worry about, oh, it would take me 3 hours of time to get ready, deal with the chaotic traffic, poor parking infrastructure, and then waiting in the waiting room of the doctor. No, you can cut all of this to the chase and get those 10-minute consultations or more with the doctors of your choice in the specialty that you are having a problem in.
Okay. Got it.
Now, in the villages, the problem is the exact opposite. People have plenty of time. You see them playing cards under a banyan tree, smoking hookah and tobacco all day long.
Yeah, yeah.
The challenge in the villages is the supply of good quality doctors. So with virtual healthcare, we are supplying them good quality doctors at the tap of their fingers or the click of the mouse. And we understand many of these villagers are not digitally savvy. So what we are doing there is we are doing assisted e-commerce in these villages, where a village level entrepreneur would be the evangelist of the product,
Okay.
promoting it amongst people who have no clue about online consultations, do not have a plastic currency or a mobile wallet to make payments through, do not even have an email address to receive prescription on. Yet we can offer them virtual consults through Dr. Insta assisted e-commerce program. The other challenge that we are trying to resolve in most developing countries like India is there is a huge social stigma
Okay.
around practice areas of sexology and psychology. And research shows us that psychology issues impact almost everyone. There is nobody who has not dealt with or is not going to deal with psychology issues like anxiety, stress, depression, relationship issues, grief. So they are part of a life cycle, they're part of a journey of human beings. Yet there is a huge social stigma amongst people of developing countries, including India and especially India, where people are not that easy with the thought of going to a psychologist.
That's true.
Same goes for a sexologist. People look for the farthest possible sexologist or a Neem Hakim to seek consultation from. Now, they feel that if they go to a good sexologist, in their neighborhood or close by, and if they're seen by someone from their extended circle of family and friends, then their reputation would get tarnished.
That's true.
So to break that thought process, and by democratizing healthcare now through Dr. Insta, all these people can have consultations with the top psychologists or with the leading sexologists as and when they want.
Oh, that's
So
great.
these are some of the major pain points that we are trying to resolve in India and the other
Okay.
developing countries.
So, I mean, when you thought of the idea, was it only you to take this idea off the ground, or do you have any co-founders?
I had a core team of people, one from healthcare community, one from operations,
Uh-huh.
one from business development. All of us came together, converged our thoughts and energies, and started marching in this direction.
Okay, great. So now I'm looking at the platform. It caters to, of course, three types of people. One is the patients, one is the businesses, and one is the practitioners, right? If you were
Correct.
to look at these three silos, I mean, how would you describe how you cater to these three different types of sectors?
Sure. There's a lot of commonality and overlap between these three. Doctors do the supply side of the equation, they are the caregivers. Patients could be of two kinds. One we call retail or under B2C program, where anyone can download the app or go to the web and do the consultation on either pay as you go basis or by buying an annual subscription program of Dr. Insta, whereby for a small fee, both them as well as their dependents are covered for the whole year. And then the second program is B2B2C, which is business.
Yep.
So there, the value proposition is that large, medium, and small companies of the country can offer a virtual healthcare solution to their employees. Companies pay on per employee per month basis, and all these employees as well as their dependents get these free virtual healthcare consults
Mm-hmm.
as when they want. Now, what's in it for businesses is that it increases the productivity of the employees and in turn the businesses. Because guess what? If Rajiv is sick or Rajiv's aging mother or young child are sick
Mm-hmm.
and Rajiv has to take hours off or a day off and tell
Yep.
his boss that, boss, I'm taking this time off, then who else loses along with Rajiv? It
Correct.
is the employer. So now, if an employer offers a complementary solution to an employee, what employer would realize is happier, healthier employees,
Absolutely.
less medical absenteeism, and then there is something called passive absenteeism. Passive absenteeism is an employee is there staring at the screen or looking at the file but not doing anything. So physically the employee